Welcome to Learning Together Too. I am so glad that you're here. In this video, we are going to review how to express fractions as decimals using method 2. Look, our Mojituti friend Betty has come to help us. Hi, Betty. Betty, what is 3/5 expressed as a decimal number? That's okay, Betty. Let's work it out together. Betty, to express 3/5 as a decimal, we need to use long division. Betty, there are different methods for long division. In separate videos, our Mojituti friends Erica and Ralph help us explain these two methods in greater detail. Erica will help us with method 1, and Ralph will help us with method 2. Betty, in this video, will assume that you know the basic steps for long division, which Erica and Ralph helped us explain in their respective videos, and which you may review at any time if you need to do so. Okay, Betty, remember that when we are asked to express 3/5 as a decimal, what we are being asked is, what is 3 divided by 5 equal to? So, Betty, which method do you prefer? Method 2. Very well, Betty. Let's go ahead and rearrange our numbers. Now we ask, how many times does 5 go into 3 without going over? 0. Very good, Betty. 0 times 5 is equal to 0. Nice job, Betty. 3 minus 0 is equal to 3. Very good, Betty. Remember, Betty, that at the end of every whole number there is a decimal point, and that after the decimal point there are all the zeros we need to be able to keep working. Betty, we bring down the first 0. In order to show that we are working with decimals, we write a decimal point after this 0. Now we get to ask, how many times does 5 go into 30? 6. Great job, Betty. 6 times 5 is equal to 30. Very good, Betty. And 30 minus 30 is equal to 0. Nicely done, Betty. Since our result is 0 and there's nothing left to work with, we can stop. Our answer is 6/10. Excellent, Betty. Let's try it again. If you have the exercise book for this video, bring it out to work with it. Feel free to pause the video at any time as you follow along in the book. Betty, what is 4 7/8 expressed as a decimal number? Betty, with a mixed fraction, we only need to focus on the proper fraction part when we do the division. Let's move the 4 out of the way and rearrange our proper fraction in order to divide 7 by 8 using long division. Betty, we can't forget the 4, but we don't need to change the mixed fraction to an improper fraction to find our answer, so that's why we can set the 4 aside. We'll get back to it in a little while. Now we ask, how many times does 8 go into 7 without going over? 0. Very good, Betty. 0 times 8 is equal to 0. Nice job, Betty. 7 minus 0 is equal to 7. Very good, Betty. Remember, Betty, that at the end of every whole number there is a decimal point, and that after the decimal point there are all the zeros we need to be able to keep working. Betty, we bring down the first 0. In order to show that we are working with decimals, we write a decimal point after this 0. Now we get to ask, how many times does 8 go into 70? 8. Great job, Betty. 8 times 8 is equal to 64. Very good, Betty. And 70 minus 64 is equal to 6. Nicely done, Betty. Now we bring down the next 0 and we get to ask, how many times does 8 go into 60? 7. Very good, Betty. 7 times 8 is equal to 56. Well done, Betty. And 60 minus 56 is equal to 4. Great job, Betty. Now we bring down the next 0, and we get to ask, how many times does 8 go into 40? 5. Well done, Betty. 5 times 8 is equal to 40. Very good, Betty. And 40 minus 40 is equal to 0. Great job, Betty. Since our result is 0 and there's nothing left to work with, we can stop. The answer to our division is 0.875. Nicely done, Betty. Now, Betty, we add this result to the 4 we set aside a little while ago. 4 plus 0.875 is equal to 4.875. Excellent, Betty. That's our final answer. Betty, not all divisions will give a result of 0 with nothing left to work with as we work them out. Some might go on forever. A lot of the time, when working with long division, the answer is given to 1, 2, or 3 digits after the decimal point. Betty, had we stopped dividing after 2 digits after the decimal point, our final answer would have been 4.87. Excellent, Betty. I think you've got it. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for upcoming videos. For more great videos, visit learningtogether2.com. If you already have the exercise book, continue with solving the problems, and thank you so very much for your support. But if you don't have it, get the exercise book that goes along with this video. Find the link below in the description or by visiting learningtogether2.com. You might also like to get Betty or your favorite Mojituti character. To learn more, visit Mojituti.com. Please subscribe so you won't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. And don't forget to click on the like button. See you soon! Oh, by the way, are you a puzzle person? Find your puzzle at the Vista Puzzles. Scan the QR code or find the link below in the description or by visiting learningtogether2.com.